to give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power!
You got it going on. Yeah, you got it going on. You got it going on. Yeah, you got it going on. I used to be scared of the. Now I throw lips to the. Handle it like a real. Have the hunter. Janet Jack me. Take it in the. Yes, what? I got land in Switzerland. Even got sand in the Maryland. Bahamas in the spring. Baby, it's a big mama thing. Can't tell by the diamonds in my ring. That's how many times I wanna. 21. And another one. And another one. And another one. 24 carats. That's when I'm with the average. Word. Brothers be back and old. Don't you like the way I roll? And play with my. Tell me what's on your mind when your tongue's in the. Is it marriage? Baby carriage? No, wanna die, it's mine. Got to keep 'em coming. Welcome in. It's the weekend. You better turn up. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. We're here to get into these entertainment topics, these headlines, the conversations that are running your social media and group chat. First up, you gotta shout out this one right here, Lil' Kim, the originator, the first Queen Bee. Shout out to Lil' Kim. Happy birthday, Kim. We love Lil' Kim. So, as Andy is always on theme, Big Mama thing was my joint, though, when this dropped, like, for real. Word for word, bar for bar. What are you saying? What? We're also going to get into the feature on that particular cut. Your guy, Jay-Z. He's been battling an accusation for about 10 years, beating it back. And as of now, he's had enough. So we'll get into those details. Spoiler alert, it's something that Nicki Minaj dropped on her Instagram, as did 50 Cent a couple days ago. So we're going to get into all of that. We're talking about Don Lemon. Now, if you recall, Don was originally supposed to drop a talk show on X, and to kick it off, he had an interview with Elon Musk, who owns X, right? And, you know, Don was told he had free range in this interview, but Elon clearly was not comfortable with the questions. And after the interview, Don said he received an email like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks, I'm cool. So what did he do? He sued. So we'll get into the details of what is being thrown out from that case, what is being kept in, and what it's looking like, you know? Also, because, listen, it's wedding season, right? I have a bunch of proposals, upcoming nuptials, and actual nuptials to discuss with you. All of that and more. But before we get into all of that, you know, I like to start the evening with a couple of conversation starters because, you know, just to warm you up. First of all, congratulations are in order for singer Coco Jones. You also know her from Bel Air as Hillary Banks. She and Cleveland Cavs guard Donovan Mitchell, talking too fast, are engaged. The two were on vacation somewhere tropical where there were palm trees, lush ocean, pool, sunset, and he popped the question. So we love love. They make a stunning couple. The two have been together for about 2 years, and, you know,
No word on the ring yet or how many carats or what it looks like. Just beautiful love. And we're happy about that. Congrats to them. In addition, there's some upcoming nuptials happening in September. Venus Williams, tennis legend Venus Williams, will reportedly tie the knot with Italian actor and model Andrea Preti this September in an intimate ceremony on the Amalfi Coast. Okay? If you don't know where the Amalfi Coast is, just hit Google. Okay? Just hit Google. It might be intimate, but it's not inexpensive. So we haven't seen the ring. We have seen the ring. Venus has been walking around with the ring on her left finger, but has not publicly commented on whether or not she's engaged or any of these things. Just, the tea leaves falling out of the sky, and these are what the birdies are chirping about. So, a little coastal wedding. Cute. I like it. Congratulations to Venus. And I'm not even going to say it. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to roll it back. I'm going to roll it back. I was just going to say, I wonder if Venus and Serena, and I know they will, I don't even know why I'm asking this, are going to get the same type of heat that some others have gotten, siblings, family members, that, both seem to find themselves marrying outside.
Okay, thank you.
Of their culture. Yeah. I know the question's going to come up. I'm not going to, I was going to overlook it and ignore it.
Look,
but I decided to tackle it head on.
Love is love. Love is love.
Love is love. But, people always got to comment. And here's the thing. In spite of all of the dirty, dirty, wrong, mean things that Venus and Serena have heard from people, men in particular, sometimes black men, they've never said anything to disrespect them. So to me, that is like the bigger point. If you are not using, my people do this, that's why I like this, to justify why you like whatever, love is love. Enjoy it. Listen, one more thing. Kid Cudi, he got married on June 28th to his longtime girlfriend, Lola. They got married in the south of France. They were introduced in 2018 at Virgil Abloh. Did I say that correctly? No. But Abloh, I no disrespect meant there. She was working at the Louis Vuitton show, so the bride described the weekend as a bubble of love. So congratulations to all that. We love here. It's a lot of it flowing around, and we appreciate it. When we come forward, we're going to get into Jay-Z has somebody 32 years old that is trying to establish paternity. We'll get into those details. All that and more when you, let me slow down. It's Friday, right? It's Friday. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you.
Ron
had a tax problem he just couldn't handle on his own.
I owed the IRS taxes for over 5 years, but I didn't have any money to pay the taxes.
Those years cost him dearly.
Most of it was fees and interest. It was horrible.
Ron finally called in the pros.
I called Optima Tax Relief, and boy, am I happy I did.
The leading tax resolution firm, Optima, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. Ron was overjoyed.
They settled my account with the IRS. I was ecstatic. They are a lifesaver. They are. I am so happy.
Take Ron's advice and call Optima now for a free consultation.
Yeah, don't do like I did and wait. Call Optima Tax Relief. Do it now. You'll be ecstatic like me.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad
Break
Council.
out the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33 and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yeah.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So, of course, you know how this goes down. If at any point you want to get in on this conversation, 800-920-1580. Hit us up on social media. I'm at Stiletto Jill. Holla at your girl. Say hi. We are at KBLA 1580. Leave us feedback. Let us know how you are enjoying all of the shows here on the station. Of course, we have an app. Download the app. It's updated. It's fresh. It's new. It has all the bells and whistles. Check us out. There's a lot of things you can explore and tap in with. And join the YouTube chat. They're already in conversation as they are every day. We love to see it. We love to hear the conversation in there going on with them. Now, so there's a gentleman. His name is Ramir Satterthwaite, right? And so Ramir, for years, right, has believed that his biological father is one Sean Corey Carter, Jay-Z, right? So apparently his mom, Wanga, she's deceased now, said that she had a relationship with Jay-Z back in the 90s. He says that the rapper has gone to great lengths to avoid acknowledging his alleged paternity, including refusing a DNA test, right? He's from Philly, and he is alleging that Jay-Z has pressured the courts and that this emotional battle has caused him distress, public embarrassment, and even health complications. He also alleged that there was a violent threat made against him in the form of a car shooting. He believes that was intended to send a message to back up, right? And he says that he's not seeking back child support. Spoiler alert, I think only up till the age of 25 can you get back child support. He has been engaged. First, it was his mother before she passed on. I believe he was 17 when she passed away, and his guardian, his legal guardian, took over the fight to get Jay-Z to take this paternity test. And as I mentioned, he's 31 now. And he wants to be acknowledged, and he wants the court to force him to take a paternity test, right? So Jay-Z's legal team has finally spoken out about this. Mind you, this report of him refiling this lawsuit, which he did in May of 2025, 50 Cent posted it, talking mess, as 50 does. And then Nicki Minaj, during her rant the other day, remember about Jay-Z owing her 100 or 200 million, also posted this suit and was like, oh, that's why you were trending the other day. You know, being passive aggressive and whatnot. But Jay-Z said he only became aware of this because of the June 2025 filing, right? Court records show that Ramir has had similar claims before in multiple courts, and that he's already been hit with contempt orders. Jay-Z's team said it's fabricated, and that this is a decades-long harassment campaign. Now, some have speculated part of the reason why Jay-Z does not want to take a DNA test, and again, this is speculation. It is not proven fact. I want to stress that. It is strictly speculation, is because Ramir's mother, Wanga, would have been underage when she was pregnant. And Jay-Z would not have been underage. So that is what some are speculating it would be. Some people feel there is a strong resemblance there. It's on social media. You can go take a look for yourself and see what you think. But a lot of people are saying, well, Jay-Z should just take the DNA test to get this person out of his hair. I remember about 10, 12 years ago, a similar situation happened with Michael Jordan, a woman who claimed she had a relationship with Jordan. They at least knew each other to some degree. She had a couple of photos with Jordan. Claimed that Jordan was the father of her son. Same thing. They wanted to file suit. And people were like, Jordan should just take the test and prove that he's not the dad. But I ask you, right, especially as a high-profile public figure, celebrity, are you comfortable with just because somebody says, hey, you're my dad, giving up your DNA? I mean, seriously, like we can say all the reasons he's running, whatever. And then I also feel like in the case of Jay-Z, let's say he said, okay, I'll take it, right? And let's say the results came back that he is not the father. No more he needed, right? Some would still say, oh, he paid somebody off. Oh, he did this to duck and dodge the thing. So is it really worth putting yourself out there, putting your DNA out there? We don't know what the future will hold as far as what things can happen with DNA, things of that nature. So if just haphazardly you're going around giving out your DNA for a testing, I know that there are rules and things attached to it and what people can't do to it. But I'm just saying, if some person, and I'm talking to the men here because this is a situation that is uniquely for you, possibly some women, maybe adoption, but totally different thing, kind of, sort of, was just like, hey, you're my dad. Give me your DNA. What are you doing? And you have billions. Again, he can't sue for back child support at this point. They've had several lawsuits that have been, struck down, contempt. So what is Ramir's goal? Is it really just he wants to feel personally satisfied because this is something that his mother has told him since he was young and he wants resolution? There was a man he believed that was his father, but at some point they did take a DNA test and he was not the daddy. So, the story has been in rotation, has come up off and on for years, right? But it's really about power, privacy, and the obsession people sometimes seem to have with our public figures. You know, they say be famous long enough or be the people's champ long enough, and the hero will turn to the villain. Or the old adage, we build them up to tear them down. However you want to look at that. You know, people used to champion Jay so much, and now he is definitely the villain in a lot of people's story. So I don't know. Is it justice just chasing headlines? Would you be willing to just give up your DNA because someone says, even if you did hypothetically have some semblance of a relationship with this woman, right? Would you just give up your DNA? Because thus far, no court order, I believe, has been issued. Andy?
If this is actually Jay-Z's son, I would not give up any type of DNA. I would just own up to the fact that, you know what? This is my kid. Now, there's a lot of questions. I'm curious to know the dynamic between Jay-Z and this young gentleman's mom.
She's deceased.
Oh, she's deceased.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, she passed away about 13 years ago. And she started it. He picked it up and continued it. But as I've said, the thing is doing the math. I mean, you know, she would have been underage at the time, and Jay-Z would not have been. And some are speculating that at least has something to do with this. Not sure if the fact that is part of his resistance is accurate and valid. But what is valid is that she was not 18 years old when she had her child.
If he did decide to go ahead and take this test and it's revealed that he is the father, is there like a retroactive, we need to go ahead and criminalize you for
probably
underage?
Probably not, but it doesn't look good, certainly. Right? Jay-Z is, again, we are speculating.
Speculation.
Because Jay-Z is litigious as hell, and we don't play that.
Oh, yeah.
But no, just people are speculating that might have something to do with it. And he does have a very, again, realize we're talking about a rapper, former dealer, all of the things, family-oriented image at this point.
It's really tough because, you know, when we talk about fatherhood, we talk about young men growing up without a father. You know, you guys always say, believe the woman, right? Do we believe a child in this situation, or at least
he's an adult?
He's an adult now, but he's still the child of.
But would he know? But that's the thing. There was no relationship with Jay and his mom in his youth or anything like that. These are just things that his mother, I can't recall the exact story at the time, but I think it was very random. She was just like, Jay-Z was on the radio one day and she was like, you know, that's your dad. So.
And never mind. You said she made several attempts.
She talked about it. I don't know if she formally filed any paperwork beforehand as far as a court case. But I know that for at least the past decade or so, he has been picking up the torch and carrying that out. As far as like monetarily what he could do, that ended at age 25.
You know, I want to give this young gentleman some grace, and he sounds like he's just searching for a father. If he's convinced that it's Jay-Z, keep on fighting, my brother. Keep on fighting until you get some sort of closure. You know, if you grew up your whole life without a father, do you know how much this is impacting him?
He had a father, but he later discovered,
that
I guess,
wasn't.
When his parents were separating or breaking up, and maybe that's when his mom told. I can't remember because parts of that story have shifted depending upon the time frame at which they were being shared. So, it's, again, you guys can Google. His name is Rymir, Rymir. And, he says he's Jay-Z's son. And so you can go and see if you feel like they look similar, if we're missing something here. Again, I understand wanting to understand a piece of you that is missing, right? And if your mother told you this is your dad, what are you to believe? And you feel like there's a resemblance. However, I am not a fan of the court just haphazardly saying, yep, submit your DNA, especially with the times that we're living in now. And technology is moving at light speed, right? Just makes me kind of uncomfortable. Royal Jenkins hit Google. He says it kind of looks like Jay-Z. I mean, we can't go on lookalikes, but we can, We'll have to see. Morris Phillips says, if Jay-Z was broke and homeless, would it make a difference? Would it make a difference to Rymir? Well, he's saying he just wants to have closure as far as his father. He can't get any monetary compensation at this point, but you never know what kind of flip can happen. People have sued for far less. Remember, somebody won money from McDonald's because the coffee was too hot. So anything is possible, right? Anything is possible. But I don't know. It's hard to say. I can't say that young man is wrong for wanting some peace and some resolution, but I also can't say that if I was Jay-Z, I'm just like, cool, let me give this to you. Case in point, no questions asked. I'm still Jay-Z. So we'll put a pin in that. When we come forward, we're going to get into this Don Lemon lawsuit. Although Don, he's doing his thing. YouTube looks good on him. Add more money to it. He's got a lot of coins from these suits. So add more. We'll get into the details of that on the other side. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm all sick of MC and my mama would claim at 10 pounds when I was born, I didn't give her no pain. Although through the years I gave her fair share. I gave her first real scare. I made it for birth when I got here. She knows my purpose wasn't purpose. I ain't perfect, I care. But I feel worthless cause my shirts wasn't matching my gear. Now I'm just scratching the surface cause what's buried under there was a kid torn apart once his pop disappeared. I went to school, got good grades, could behave when I wanted, but I had demons deep inside that were raised when confronted. Hold on.
Sean was a very shy child growing up. He was into sports.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. President Trump is in Kerrville, Texas, seeing the flood devastation firsthand.
It's hard to believe the devastation. Trees that are 100 years old just ripped out of the ground. I've never seen anything like it.
Trump and First Lady Melania met with families impacted by the tragedy. Over 120 people have died and many are still missing. Chris Brown is pleading not guilty in London to charges of assault and having a weapon tied to claims he attacked a UK producer with a bottle in 2023. The producer says Brown hit him multiple times and assaulted him while he was on the ground. And Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams' re-election campaign got a boost, raising $1 million Wednesday after a slow fundraising period. At the event, he criticized Andrew Cuomo for staying in the race, saying it could split the moderate vote, and noted the strong pushback against the primary winner. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Sherman Oaks, South 101. This is loading up from the 405 to the 170-134 split, slowing ahead in Hollywood from Sunset Boulevard into downtown Los Angeles. Griffith Park, South 5, slowing from the 134 all the way to the 605 freeway. Tough along the 5 northbound in Sun Valley. Delays from just about Sunland Boulevard, heavy ahead to the 14, and southbound a little crowded out of Valencia. This is getting away from Magic Mountain Parkway towards Lyons Avenue.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Tennis legend Venus Williams, who turned 45 last month, was given a wildcard invitation to play in the D.C. Open in Washington, D.C. The tournament, which kicks off July 21st, is the first event for Venus since she played in the Miami Open in 2024. Major props for Venus for still having the passion to play and for giving organizers of the D.C. Open an attendance boost. Having Venus on the lineup is certain to bring out more fans. Venus, who turned pro at age 14 in 1994, has won 7 Grand Slam titles in her legendary career. The Dodgers will try to snap their 6-game losing streak tonight at San Francisco. The Angels are at home tonight against Arizona. Tomorrow night at 7 here on KBLA. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough for Out of Bounds. 60 minutes of sports chatter with some flavor. Take this number down so you can join the conversation. 1-800-920-1580. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, y'all, come on. Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power! Fight the power!
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Choke my neck and ice my beat the system with chains and whips.
You know we get calling and look side to side. They say and they ignore his voice, and then you realize that the devil is talking to you.
I'm not the candidate to vibe with. I don't with the kumbaya. All that talent must be God sent. I send your back to the cosmics. The things I seen under my eyelids. Kaleidoscope dreams, murder and sirens. Let's be clear, hip-hop died again. Half of my profits may go to Rakim. How many Judases that let me down? But at the West Minds, we right now. Therapy showed me how to open up. It also showed me I don't give a the two-time Gemini with the genocide. I'm generous, however you want it. I'll be the gentle kind. Gentlemen and gangsters connect. The agenda of mine. Move up out of here. They get gentrified. Heavy jeans like Genevieve's. I drop your Pentagon to show up at your gender reveal. And tell them, give me mine. I am the general. Where my gin and juice? Every song in the book of Genesis. Let the sonics boom.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. You know, Andy keeping us. It's New Music Friday because, you know, music drops on Fridays now, which is still confusing to me because I remember when music would drop on Tuesdays, but it's Friday. So that's the new Clips featuring Kendrick Lamar, Whips and Chains, that just dropped. Also, Justin Bieber dropped Swag. He has, you know, cuts with Sexy Red. We talked about Sexy Red and Snoop Dogg. She's climbing her way back. I feel like, you know, she was up and now she's kind of faltered or something. You know, Glorilla's still going strong. But yeah, so it's new music out there. Check both of those out. Okay, so listen, before we move on from the Jay-Z topic, something else I saw on social media that I thought was worth acknowledging. Jay-Z grew up without a father, right? And he's often talked about the impact that it had, him growing up without a dad. Now, some might say perhaps if your dad had been in your life, you would not be where you are today. Maybe, maybe not. Who's to say? But knowing that he feels this way and fatherhood seems to be something that he takes seriously and that he seems to value, I would like to think, of course it could not be true, but I would like to think that if he felt that there was a child out there that was his, he would step up and take responsibility. That's what I would like to believe. Now, I know a lot of you think that Jay-Z is the devil incarnate. Get it? You know, everybody's entitled to feel how they feel, right? But just based off of some of the things that he has said, again, I know what PR is, did it for a very long time. I just would like to believe that he would step up and do the right thing. We may never know, but that's what I think. All right, let's get into these details about Don Lemon. So, like I mentioned, Don was, after he left CNN, right, unceremoniously, and got paid, he, in his comeback, was going to drop a talk show on X, Elon Musk X. We know that they have live talk shows on there. Khloe Kardashian has a podcast that's on there. Venus and Serena Williams are going to be launching their podcast on there. But Don was one of the first announced. And his first moment with that was an interview with Elon Musk. It didn't go so well. Elon was angry. And after the interview, he was like, "Thank you for your services." So Don filed a lawsuit, right? And a San Francisco judge has ruled that portions of the suit can move forward, right? So it is allowing claims of fraud, misappropriation of likeness, breach of implied contract, and unjust enrichment. So it was a $1.5 million content deal, right? And the March 8th interview, as mentioned, he asked Elon point blank about some things, and Elon didn't like it, and Musk then text Lemon's team, contract is canceled, right? Lemon's attorneys say that X pressured him to announce early to impress advertisers and then ghosted him on the deal with no payment. So basically, he's saying they used Don's likeness. They used the attraction to Don to lure in advertisers and then cut him and didn't give him any funds. So we'll see what happens with the case, but Musk wanted the case moved to Texas. The court ruled it will stay in California. As we know, Elon took the headquarters for Tesla, and I'm assuming maybe X as well, from California to Austin, Texas a few years back because of what he and some other companies allege were too high of taxes in California. Funny enough, a couple of those companies have already moved out of Texas after going through all of that and removing their operations. We have a caller. Eric from Carson is on the line. Eric, you have some commentary on Don Lemon. What's up with you tonight?
Hey, Jill. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I just wanted to say that, Don Lemon was on CNN, and his demise, I guess he made a statement about Nikki Haley about being past her prime, and then he apologized for that. And CNN is known as a left-wing news show, and so making a statement like that is peculiar for a man who's as intelligent as Don is. And so now we have him getting in bed with the richest man in the world, Elon Musk. And he had what's called a implied contract. This intelligent man, Don Lemon, had an implied contract, and then he's going to file a suit. And what I'm seeing is I'm noticing a pattern with Don, and he's swimming with sharks. And I think it's a dangerous game to play when you are trying to continue your career.
Do you really? Because I see Don doing numbers on YouTube. His subscriber base is up, and he got a hefty settlement from CNN. And I think that, again, no legal expert, so I don't know. Just my outside high view opinion. Seems like he might have a case here.
He might have a case, and he might be committing career suicide, too.
Why? Nobody is on board with Elon Musk.
Nobody's on board with Elon Musk, but Elon Musk is a powerful man, whether we like him or not. And so I think he could potentially ruin his career. That's just, you have to decide, do I want to win or do I want to win?
I mean,
if money is the
here's
the ticket,
the thing,
then
but
okay, great.
as we just said, he's continuing to make money. His show has several sponsors. He got a settlement, a payout from CNN, and now he has his own media company, and there isn't anyone that really can impact what he does, what he puts forth. Elon don't own YouTube.
Can I ask you a question, a final question?
Yes, sir.
Would you want, if you were Don Lemon, would you want to have the reputation that he is creating? This reputation of being litigious, will anybody trust you to want to work with you if you have I will sue you, if you have that out there?
I mean, I understand the point of view that, and the positioning that you're taking, but I think that clearly in these two instances that we are focusing on, it's pretty obvious from a layman's POV that he was done wrong in business. So I think that also he is independent now. So these are sponsors. It's a different sort of relationship that we're talking about. From someone, whether it's a collab or a partnership in the way that it was prior to. So I think that we're looking at different points of reference. Sponsors, if they don't like what's happening, we're not re-upping the deal. And that's it. Move around. So I think that Don's in a good position for now. Thanks for calling as always, Eric. When we come forward, we're going to get into, we've been talking about Essence Fest all week and the drama with that. Now there is some questions as to what's going on with the president of Essence, Carolyn Wang. So we'll get into Wanga. Excuse me. We'll get into those details on the other side.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Spaces limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back, and you're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. We have a caller on the line, Fahima from D.C. Welcome in, Fahima.
Yeah, I was really calling to talk about the Essence situation because there's a lot of misinformation that's out there. I sent you a video that Lonnie Smith, the former NBA basketball player, made. I don't know if you had a chance, you saw it. But there's a lot of misinformation, and a lot of it is from people who didn't even attend Essence Festival online. They've never been there, and they're spreading misinformation. Yes, they did make mistakes, and they've admitted they made mistakes. And because last year was the largest attendance of Essence Fest last year. And I found out that Susan Taylor was involved because there was a commercial this year. She did a news program. She was involved. But the primary problem was companies were like AT&T and Target were placing stipulations because of DEI. That was one of the problems. And then the other issue was that Essence expanded the festival, and I guess it was because of the huge attendance last year. But the things that they're saying about Caroline are not true. Some people are saying they were from Nigeria. They're not from Nigeria. They are from Liberia. And one of the owners of Shea Moisture, by the way, is a descendant of Harriet Tubman. And so it's a bunch of misinformation and disinformation by people who never attended Essence. And you can't boycott something you don't participate in.
That is true. Thank you as always, Fahima, for calling in and letting the record show. Anything else?
Eric was wrong. Eric was wrong about Don Lemon, but you already addressed it.
Okay. You sure you don't want to add anything?
Well, just that the situation with Nikki Haley did cause a controversy, but his discourse with Ramaswamy was what resulted in his being terminated. But I think Don Lemon is doing fine. In fact, I like him more that he's free from the constraints of CNN. And actually, as a content creator on YouTube, he's able to be himself without the constraints of cable television.
I agree. Thank you as always, Fahima. I'll talk to you later. So we're going to talk about Caroline Wanga, who is the CEO of Essence. She broke her silence kind of indirectly with a layered Instagram post on July 10th. In it, she said, "Some missing knowledge has led to false assumptions regarding my leave as president CEO. My holistic career experience amidst the current socioeconomic climate have no proven role in the current state of affairs." Translation: she might be on leave. She might be stepping down. It's not really clear. There have been whispers that because of the backlash, maybe it's time for them to find a different direction. She might just be on vacation after being responsible for putting together a huge 3-day long festival. But what is apparent is that Essence is reassessing internally, and the audience is reassessing what they can give to Essence as far as a festival. I think a couple of things that people aren't really being honest about is, one, prior to Girls Trip, I think Essence was considered for the aunties and uncles, appropriate usage there, and its demographic was older, and it was not just women that went, it was also couples. You would see a lot of couples there, sometimes families or what have you. Not that women wouldn't do girls trips, but the movie Girls Trip set it off. And then it became, because, we love a trend. We love to see something and then try it out for ourselves. No shade. I'm just saying. It was an influence. It was impactful, right? And I do very much think the changing economy, things that are happening with us right now, likely did have an impact on people traveling there. That being said, something about the experience has to change because there is a disconnect. And it's been around for 30 years. It's hard to do, and it's hard to maintain the freshness. I think they are going to have to make a decision. Are they targeting the youth, or are they going to hang tough with their Gen X, late millennial, and focus in on that? So we'll see what comes to pass as far as that goes. Andy?
It just seems like we're in a transition period, just culture all the way around.
I think so.
You know what I mean? And I think shout out to the aunties and all that. But, now it's like, well, let's get the youth now, because the youth are becoming adults now.
Facts.
And I think you just see that on all levels, whether it's festivals, whether it's TV, music. That's the challenge that I think that we're having. Hell, just in life in general, right? Just, these youngsters are doing things different than, the old heads. So we're going through a cultural shift right now. And I think, when it comes to change, you know, people are a little bit apprehensive and whatnot. So this is the period that we're going through.
I agree 100%. I mean, you even think about it. When I was growing up, the music that was featured in commercials, a lot of it was like 50s, 60s music, the Beatles, stuff like that, Elvis, Chucky. You know, there are songs that I know deeply that were nowhere near my time frame through commercials. But now we're starting to see the impact of our culture even more so, even deeper into, you know, as far as things are changing. Every commercial has a hip hop song in it. How many times during Halloween do you hear Freaks Come Out at Night? Right? We saw It's Getting Hot in Here for like, I mean, we're seeing it for like laundry detergent. Who would have thought? So a lot is changing with culture. It's turning over. And I do think that there is room for stuff for the youth. Obviously, you got to get that in there to get that nostalgia value 10, 20 years down the line. But I think that this 50, and I'm talking about years old, is not the same 50 that was around in the 90s. I think that they're much more active. They're outside. They still city girls. What you talking about? It's a hot ladies, a hot auntie summer. Right? So I think that there's a way that you could set it up for an older crowd that still could be energetic, still could be exciting, but you got to kind of make a choice because however you're trying to get this mix going, it's not working. And also you have to consider the fact that we've talked about a great deal. Social media has made people really unappreciative of a lot of experiences. Because we get to see everything. I told you, I've seen so much of the Cowboy Carter tour through Instagram. I didn't go to Kendrick, neither did Andy. We're sad about it, but we've seen a great deal of it. Right? I know what Cardi B looks like, no weave, no makeup. So you got to kind of play the game differently. Bring back mystique. All right, y'all. Thanks for tapping in. I hope that you know, have a snack or a libation this weekend on me. Make sure that you are locked in each and every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Weekends, too, because we love you all the time. For your trending topics and headlines, I'm Jill Munroe. I will holler at you guys next time.
Take a step back. You need to relax.